And here we are, Chapter 3, Vassal Urban Warfare. So, we've escaped from Bruhl, and the war is starting to kick up. Now that there's a formal declaration, the Empire is going to really start coming down upon Galia. Well, let's see where we go. Vassal Urban Warfare. Summons. Something tells me Galia kinda wants people who survived Bruhl to join up.
In March of 1935, the Empire began its invasion across Galia's eastern border.
Well, it's kinda hard to go across the western border when there's sea. And last time I checked, tanks can't swim.
Commander of the Galian invasion front, built his army around mobile armor. Ghirlandaio and the other fortresses along the border fell to his tanks in quick succession.
Oh boy, the commander is a big fan of tanks. Fun. As I said,
Bruhl's
our main enemy of the game is going to be tanks.
Was typical of villages in the
And
Empire's path,
the
and
tanks
the road to the capital bore a steady
upgrade
flow of
quickly.
refugees.
There are 4 classifications I saw in the report, and
Randgrees,
you're going to hate the higher
Galia's
ranks.
capital, a town secure and stable since ancient times.
Well, its
Within
best
its
defense
walls
against the
stood
tank's
the
going to be
castle
that river,
Randgrees,
because
and within
tanks
its
don't swim.
unicorn spire resided Cordelia, Galia's princess.
So is there a king at the moment, or is the princess the acting
Supporting
ruler
Galia's
now?
policy of neutrality was a system of universal conscription.
Okay.
Under it, all schools required military training each
That
year.
explains
In the
why
event of a
Welkin
war,
and Isara
citizens then
were able to
drafted
take
into
military
militia to
classes.
defend their country.
It was really required, probably even for their high school diploma. I
As
can
the
now
conflict
imagine
with
now,
the East grew
for a high school
worse,
diploma,
both
you
Welkin
need
and Alicia found themselves
to know how to
no
drive a tank,
exceptions to that
shoot a
fate.
rifle, and throw a grenade without getting yourself hurt. I wouldn't be surprised if Welkin and Alicia volunteered. After what happened in Bruhl, I doubt they'd just sit back and hide in Rangries.
So these are my new digs.
It's already fitting to you already, Welks. There's the butterfly case over to the left, all those trees and plants to the right, and don't think I didn't see that fishing pole you're hiding.
Oh, my uniform.
Let's hope that thing is as bulletproof as our jacket. Seriously, that our jacket took 20 plus rounds at this point, I think. No holes.
I should get changed before reporting in.
Granted, we're now in a tank. We have the Edelweiss, so I don't think we need to rely as much on indestructible jackets. Still nice to have. Look like a true commander.
Flares, binoculars, a compass, and a map.
Perfect for hiking, camping, and
Everything
combat.
you need for a nice hike. Or combat.
No, wait. There is one thing we're missing for the combat requirements. Where's your emergency sidearm? Don't tell me you left it in the Edelweiss. Not gonna be in that tank all the time, are you, Wilkins? I doubt that would be very good for posture. But seriously, to have an emergency sidearm somewhere. In case things go south or horrible and you need to shoot a creeping Imperial that managed to get through our lines. I'm starting to get myself tongue-tied.
Can I come in?
Sure, it's open.
At least Alicia knocks. That's good.
Oh, you're already changed too. Let's see.
Oh wow, that looks nice.
Not bad, not bad. You look good, actually.
Heck, those shoulder pauldrons are
So,
probably
how
ideal
about me?
for...
Do I look all right in this? Convincing?
Yeah. Heck, it even goes with the scarf headband thing. Which I'm assuming is based off my previous experience of cartoons and anime, probably related to your old life as a baker. But everything else of the armor looks awesome. You look like someone who I'm going to be giving that shotgun scout rifle to.
Let's take a look.
She has one of the best accuracy stats in the game. I'm giving her the shotgun.
Yeah, you look fine. You wear it like a pro.
Welkin, are you going the arc route here? Please don't be oblivious. At least not painfully oblivious.
Really? You're not just saying that?
Yeah, I know you think Welkin realizes, you know, if Isara or Martha was in this room, they would so add on to that to try and make you just, you know.
Of course not. You look tough. I like it.
Especially those metal shoulder pauldrons. Seriously, I would hate to be tackled by that.
Oh, good. I was worried it looked kind of silly.
I don't think it's possible for you to look silly. Honestly, I think the silliest looking armor is maybe the Lancers.
No way. That plating on the back? It's like a coleopterate exoskeleton. Beetle-tastic.
Welkin. Why? Why? Do you realize what you just said? You're digging a grave here, Welkin. You're digging a grave.
Colio what? And did you just say beetle?
Yeah, no, she's gonna kill you. You're gonna have death by bread, Welkin.
Welkin?
Death by bread. Take cover, everyone.
What kind of girl wants to hear that she looks like a bug?
I would assume a nature enthusiast, but you're not a nature enthusiast. You are a baking enthusiast.
Huh? Not just any bug. A rhinoceros beetle. King of the insects. Who wouldn't want that?
Someone that's not a nature enthusiast. Like, you know, the woman in front of you. Who can kill you. With bread.
Uh-huh. I guess I'll just try to take that as a very Welkin sort of compliment.
Oh, and I don't think that's gonna be the last of the Welkin compliments. Welkin, you're gonna be digging a grave fit for a graveyard, aren't you?
Tell me about that scarf. You've been wearing it since I met you.
I'd be curious about that myself. I want to see if I'm right.
Oh, this? It's part of my uniform from the bakery.
Called it!
Is that right?
I don't want to forget the time I spent busting my buns.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. I love puns.
I plan to keep wearing it until I can get back to manning the ovens again.
And then, you know, continue wearing it because you said it was part of your uniform from the bakery. So when you man the ovens again, you're not gonna take it off. Honestly, you probably enjoy those scarves. It's honestly your trademark at this point.
That's great. Once you do, I'll be first in line to get some of that bread.
If she doesn't try to kill you with it first.
Is that a promise? Well, I'll be sure to have plenty of it ready and waiting for you.
Can't tell if that's a serious comment on making sure Welkin has plenty when he gets in line for the bakery when it inevitably reopens, or a subtle hint threat that if he ever calls her a beetle again, she's gonna stab him with bread.
Absolutely. Hey, if you're ready, we should probably go see the captain now.
Yeah, probably shouldn't keep the captain waiting. Rather not get court-martialed on the first day of enlistment. I mean, Welkin already has a habit of getting arrested if how Martha and Alicia talk is any indication. Let's see how you can upgrade that.
Come in. Excuse me, ma'am.
That glare. Jeez, the hair on that guy. Talk about the
Gallian Militia
brunette
Enlistee
one.
Welkin Gunter, reporting for duty.
Ma'am, Gallian Militia Enlistee Alicia Melchiot, also reporting for duty.
I'm Captain Eleanor Varrot, commander of this regiment. Gunther, you're promoted to lieutenant. You'll be leader of Squad 7 now.
Ma'am,
Sweet, got promoted.
Enlistee Melchiot, you're promoted to sergeant. You'll be under the lieutenant's command. Understood?
Ma'am,
It is you. Nice coincidence, huh, Welkin?
Valdio?
Oh, cool.
I
Friend
had
we
no
don't know
idea
about.
You'd enlisted.
Don't
Yeah.
think he had a choice in that
Now
regard.
that there's a real war going on, I joined up. Pretty much all the officer and training boys are here just like you.
You know each other.
Yes, ma'am. We knew each other at university. Welcome was in science and I was in archaeology.
So you're the
Just
Indiana
look at us
Jones
now.
of this
No
group.
archaeology or science. Looks like the two of us are studying more, I guess.
Does
that way.
that make
It's good to see
us?
And you.
That'll be all for now. There's a strategy briefing later today.
Well,
but
that's
you
a
still have
good.
time for you to catch up.
Trying to think of a
You'll
good
be spending a lot of
scientist
time
that
on
would
the coast
fit
and
Welkin.
in the land breeze. They'll be your new home. So get to know them. That'll
Especially
be all.
from the Indiana
Report
Jones
back
series.
and
Trying
go
to
for
think
the
about that.
briefing.
I'm blanking right
Until
now.
then, you're dismissed.
And get to know it we shall. Here's the tutorial on Squad 7 management. We have so far only 4 menus for Squad 7 management. We get 3 more as we continue along. Squad Barracks is how you change the equipment, view the potentials and abilities of your squad members. Command Room is how we fill up that squad. It's how we view the master list of drafted and recruits. And then we pick and choose who we want from there. Training Field, that's where we spend our XP to go level up the classes. I'll go in more into that in a second. And then R&D Facility, where we upgrade our equipment, and the Edelweiss. Let's go to Squad Barracks. Let's meet our Squad 7. And my gods, is that a tiny squad. They expect us to win the war with 3 people, not counting Welkin. Let's get to looking. So here's our stats. Welkin Gunter is, well, tank commander. When he's outside the Edelweiss, he's pretty much a scout, but he is very, very rarely out of that tank. I think there's only like 2 missions more where he's out of that tank, maximum. But here's his equipment when he's out of the tank. He has a Galia 1, a B-type grenade M1, and the Ragnade. That is standard for all scout units. Closing is the combat suit. Everything that's not a Lancer has the same closing and armor. Lancer has their own special armor. I'll get to that when I get to the Lancers, which is when I get down to Largo there. So each character has likes, not really dislike. Dislike go in form of potentials, but I'll get to that in a second. Welkin likes Alicia, Juno, and Audrey. Granted, we only have Alicia on the squad right now. The likes come into play when it comes to certain potentials. And speaking of potentials, here they are. There's 4 normal potentials related to that character, known as personal potentials. And then there's the battle potentials. As you level up your class, not only do your stats go up, but you also occasionally unlock battle potentials. Welkin, being a tank commander, his class never levels up. He will never have any battle potential. He will, however, gain 2 more personal potentials as we advance through the story, whether it's the main story or optional side quests for all intents and purposes when we get to that point. However, unique to Welkin as the tank commander is the orders. He can spend command points to issue orders. He can boost stats such as evasion, damage, penetration. He can make it to where a normal soldier could do more than barely anything to a tank by orders. It costs various levels of command points, and there's 3 pages of orders that we fill out throughout the game. We get orders by leveling up classes, I believe we also get some through main quests, but then there's a 3rd one that we haven't unlocked yet, so we can't get to that. And that is Welkin. Here's Alicia. She's a scout unit, currently level 1, and let me go. Now we are going past Tank Commander. Let me go in more detail on the weaponry. All weapons have different stats: aim, range versus person, versus armor, ammo, area, and special effect if it has any. Scout rifles have medium aim. They are honestly next to, I would say, the snipers have the highest aim of any class. But snipers are snipers, so you expect them to have practically pinpoint accuracy. Range is effective range of the gun. As you get farther away, the less effective the gun will be, to the point where the amount of shots it would take if you tried to blind fire from across a map is practically worthless. And then versus person and versus armor is the damage amount. Now, I know the versus armor is seemingly higher versus person. For versus armor damage, that is pitiful. As you can see, just by looking at the grenade, that is more fitting. However, we got that ZM car from Secular the Wall. And here it is. The aim goes down to E, so it is about as accurate as a machine gun. Its effective range is halved, but its damage versus person is massive. It's pretty much a shotgun with slug ammunition, because you don't get the spray. But that's why, like I said, I use scouts as shotgunners, so I tend to give them, I focus more on damage and effective range than I do aim. And here is Alicia's potential. She has country bred. When standing on bare dirt, she gets an accuracy bonus, and maternal. When any of her close friends, which are Welkin, Nose, or Dallas, are nearby, she gets a boost to all of her stats. So it's good to keep her around them because, well, you want to try and take advantage of those stat bonuses as much as possible. And next is Rosie, or Bridget Stark. Is she the ancestor of a certain Iron Man? Maybe. So she's a shock trooper, which are more combat units. Scouts, I have them go in, scout the place, shoot up a guy, and then run out because they have the highest AP of any unit in the game. Shock troopers, they tend to go in and stay in. They have higher health than most other units in the game, with a decent resistance to bullets. They also have machine guns. So while their versus person was only 3 higher than a Galleon 1, rather than firing 5 shots, they are firing 20. And then there is... her likes are Largo and Cherry, and here's where we go into the negative potentials. Potentials aren't just stat bonuses or just awesomeness, there is potentials you have to keep in mind and watch out for. For example, Rosie is allergic to the desert. If she is in any area with high amounts of dust and sand, her HP will steadily go down until you leave. So keep that in mind when you're having her out and about. She's also strong-willed, so when she's getting hit by the pot shots from the Imperial soldiers, she will take less damage. But this isn't automatic, it will occasionally activate. You'll see that could literally pause the game and have a neat little cut in as it lets you know that potential's activating. And then there is Big Sister. If she's near any other shock troopers, her abilities boost up dramatically. So I tend to send in Rosie with a squad of shock troopers and then have them, in essence, turret anything that tries to move up or ambush. They go in, they're the first ones in, the last ones out, not counting the scouts. Scouts are kind of the first ones in my way. And then there is Largo. Largo is a Lancer. Lancers are your anti-tank units. They have the spears that double as rocket launchers. No, you cannot use the spears as melee weapons. However, you can use them as pretty effective anti-personnel if you want. However, keep in mind, unlike every other main weapon that we've seen, Lancers have limited ammo. They don't have grenades, and they can only fire 3 rockets before they have to refuel, which is either at the main base, or you have an engineer, which is one of the other classes. Engineers can restock people. They can restock their grenades, rockets, sniper bullets, because snipers also have limited ammo. But we'll go in snipers once we have a sniper. Largo likes Rosie, Hans, and Jan. Largo also has Child of Nature, which is actually a negative potential. You would think it'd be a positive one based on the name, but no, it's not. He hates paved roads. So when he's near paved roads, he has lower defense, which leads me to one of the big issues with Lancers. That you may see his high amount of HP. You would think he would be a good tank when you're not using a literal tank. That is not the best of ideas. Lancers have unique armors, as I mentioned before. They have the blast suit. That gives them extra defense against explosive weaponry, but when it comes to bullets, they are kind of squishy. Lancers are in essence weak to bullets. So try not to leave Largo out and about in front of pretty much in front of shock troopers on paved roads. You're asking for Largo to die. And he may be a Potter, but that's not gonna stop people from shooting him in the face until he stops moving. Then there's loyal teammates. When he's around allies, he gets a boost to all of his stats, so you could technically use the loyal teammate potential to cancel out the Child of Nature potential when the map is nothing but paved roads. And then there is the best potential I think there is. There are a couple that, they rank up with it, but I'm sorry, it's hard to beat Big-Hearted. He has auto life. His HP hits 0, he by sheer force of will gets back up. And Largo is awesome for that. And that is all of Squad 7 for now. Very teeny tiny squad. Let's go fix that. Was the command room. And this will be a very long episode because I'm going to have all tutorial in one episode before continue on in Chapter 3. And something else I'll mention. I may be ending this episode loading up an old save file depending on who I get in that master list. Because in my test run, I had a pretty good starting master list. So I'm going to see what I got this time and go from there. Thank you, Captain Virat.
You will have access to both drafted and volunteer recruits.
And Virat will also give a tutorial on the classes.
Now that I think of it, Squad 7 is still short on soldiers, isn't it?
We have 3 soldiers and a tank. We cannot win a war with that. I don't think that stops some of the crazy people who know Valkyria Chronicles like the back of their hand to try. Actually, I'm curious if anyone has tried
the recruits have all been assigned
a
classes
only main character run.
I should probably touch on the 5 classes, just so we're clear.
I've already went through
First
half
off,
of
you
them.
have the scouts. Just like the name suggests, they'll be your eyes.
Virat is going to
best
try
asset is
and
their
focus
mobility.
on
They
the
can
fact
go
that
out,
scouts have
collect intel,
have
and
the
make it
best
back
spotting
safely.
ability, and she recommends using to go around, find all the enemies, and then head back. Because as we saw in the last chapter, when Alicia saw those 3 soldiers, they didn't disappear until their phase. So when a scout spots someone, they're on the map for the rest of your turn.
That, and a keen eye for enemies. A good scout can spot a man in tall grass from 100 yards.
Well, it can be the best spotter in the game, but he's stuck in a tank, so we can't abuse his eyesight much.
That comes at the price of firepower. Their job is spotting enemies, not taking them out.
Hence why I give them the shotguns. Whenever I, seize enemy shotguns, that's where I get them. That's who I give them to. Even though
Next up,
they are
the
scout
shock
rifles, so
troopers.
the only ones I can wield
They're
them
the ones
is
to break
the
through
scouts.
enemy lines and clean up.
Well, not true. There is one other class that use scout rifles, and that's the engineers.
They offer excellent offense and defense. While they lack any specialized techniques, they also don't have any obvious shortcomings.
So as Varrot talks about
Think of
here,
them as the least finicky unit in your squad, Lieutenant.
yeah, shock troopers are the easiest ones to plan around because their entire thing is just going in and shooting up everything. I tend to use my shock troopers as actual shock troopers and to also be my turrets. I have them in some pretty good defensible location and have them mow down any soldiers that try to advance.
After them, we have Lancers. Their purpose is pretty self-explanatory. In most cases, they're the only way to stop a tank.
Unless you have a tank yourself.
They're also well shielded from explosives, which conveniently includes tank mortars.
If you're shielded from explosives but not tank mortars, someone didn't do their job and design the blast suit.
Sadly, they're slow and weak to gunfire.
Next to the snipers, they have the lowest AP of any class.
Changing gears, we have the engineers.
Here's
They
the only one
handle
I haven't
supplies and perform
explained.
combat support.
So engineers can do a lot of things. They can repair your tanks, your other mechanized units, or even guard towers, and they can also resupply your snipers, rocketeers, and of course restore people's grenades. They restock all ammo.
They can restock other units' ammunitions, treat the wounded,
And they can
even
heal
repair
people.
tank. They can place sandbags for cover, disarm mines, repair towers, you name it. Their actual
I give them
combat
this-
skills are very low.
Yeah, I give them the
Think of
normal,
them as combat facilitators.
the normal scout rifles. I tend not to give them if I see the ZM cars or whatnot. I don't give it to them unless I have spares. Mostly because if I'm having them running around, it is because I am having them facilitate the battlefield. I am having them turn the tide by creating fixing guard towers, building cover for people to run to, or disarming mines so no one gets blown up when they walk forward.
Lastly, we have the snipers. They can shoot down targets.
Snipers
from a
are my
considerable
personal
distance.
favorite class, simply because when I'm not tanking, I like glass cannoning.
You won't find
And
better
they are
soldiers for
very
marksmanship
good at
range.
killing
They
people.
can hit targets I can barely see.
And their sniper rifles are among the most powerful. Usually it just takes a single headshot for them to kill a dude.
Sniping rifles also come with scopes that work to augment a sniper's natural
Also,
eyesight.
unlike every other class in game that fires from the hip, snipers literally aim down sights via their scope.
Drawbacks include low mobility and defense. If the enemy gets them alone, they're done for.
Hence why I tend to have my snipers be with shock trooper. I have shock trooper around to cover.
That should cover the basics. Go ahead and put a squad together now. There's room for 20, and you can swap units at any time.
With the sole exception of Alicia, Rosie, and Largo. You cannot take them out or put them back in. So let's see. We have Hermes, Melville, Wavy, Nose, Nancy, Ramona. Let's see. We have a pretty good setup. I may just stick with them. Oh yeah, we're sticking with this list, so I won't be loading up. So let's first go with. Let's get Wavy. He's kind of one of my favorite characters.
Please, call me Wavy. From today onward, we fight together.
So, oh yeah, I forgot to show. If you press F, you can see their potentials. Wavy has pretty good accuracy and all that. I use him for defending because he has a very good stat, a potential called Scout Defender or Camp Defender. Ugh. He's a scout, but I tend to keep him with the normal scout rifles, and I have him defend our camps because we're gonna start getting into actually having camps and all that. His only problem is Neat Freak. If he's around anything that's messy or dirty, his accuracy drops down. So I tend not to have him move along dirt roads. And then if he's near other Darksons, then he gets a defense boost. Darksons are people with hair like Isara or Wavy himself. Dark-haired people. Usually you can tell them easily. So let's see. Here's Inose. He's another one I like because he has country bred and then camaraderie. When he's near other scouts, he gets a boost to his evasion. His only problem is bad back, so if he tries to crouch, his defense drops significantly.
I'm Nochi Wordsworth. Hi.
Hi, Liam O'Brien. Welcome to the team. Yeah, like I said, this game has quite a few voice actors that I'm actually curious. I actually wouldn't mind if people post comments which one they recognize throughout the game that I haven't already pointed out. Nancy, I don't think I've had her before, or at least I haven't seen her. Oh, wow. Welcome aboard, Nancy. You have pretty good potentials. I'll see how you go.
I'm Nancy DeFore. It's so good to meet you.
That voice sounds familiar. Ramona, I am not going on because she has both Neat Freak and Chatty Cathy. If she's near Edie, Cherry, or Audrey, her accuracy and their accuracy drops. So she's never joined my thing. And here's Susie. She has pretty good ones as well. She has country bred, good buddy. So as long as she's around Elise and Newt, she will boost their attack power. So she's a good support. The only issue is, don't have her near shock troopers. Her attack goes down.
My name is Susie Evans, sir. I realize I'm inexperienced, but I'll do all I can.
What is this voice actress name? I recognize her from the Dot Hack series. She's Black Rose. I can't remember her name. And I'm gonna have one more scout. I tried to balance how many I have of each class, so I have options for all of them. And I only have 13 spots left, so let's see, hold up. What is Cherry's abilities? Child of Nature, Chatty Cathy, don't have her around Rosie, Ted, or Ramona. And then Fancy's Men, when she's around men, her accuracy boosts. I think I'm gonna go with Juno, because that Born Leader is pretty darn helpful. If she's around allies, she boosts their defense. She gets a boost in defense. She doesn't boost their defense, that's a different one. I just need to keep her away from metal and trenches. Alright, Juno, welcome aboard.
Corin, reporting for duty. Looks like I'll be joining you in Squad 7.
Yep. Oh god, I recognize that. I'm going to be saying that a lot throughout this, aren't I? I'm going to be recognizing a lot of voice actors. Alright, so Metalhead is, if they're near iron, or any metal, they get a boost to attack power. Which is not bad, but claustrophobic on a shock trooper may not be the best of things. I'll have Kobe. He has pretty darn good abilities. I just need to make sure he doesn't crouch.
Name's Kobe Caird, boyo. Looks to me like we're gonna see a lot of each other.
You're probably gonna be a pretty handy shock trooper. And Hans! If you're a fan of SpongeBob, you know why I do that every time I see his name. So he's like Largo, don't have him paved roads, but every time he goes against an Imperial, he gets a boost to accuracy. Welcome aboard.
Haynes Salinger, reporting for duty, sir.
I know you pronounce it Haynes, but I'm calling you Hans. And then, ooh, he's a pessimist. If his HP goes down to below half, then he's gonna take more damage. Oh, here's one of... Vice is actually a cameo from another game. I can't recall it off the top of my head. I'll probably remember it eventually. If not, I'm just gonna look it up. But he's a really good unit.
Name's Vice Engelbart. Let's go kick this war in the teeth.
And then Edie. Besides Panicky, she's pretty good. And Panicky is very easy to deal with.
I'm Edie Nelson. Perhaps you've heard of me. I'm sure we'll get along swimmingly.
She also literally got popular enough to get a DLC in this game. Alright, how many do I have of shock troopers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more shock trooper. So there's Nina and Jane. Nina is country bred, camp defender, and lancer hater. It's kind of like the trooper hater. If she's around lancers, her attack goes down. However, that is awesome as Jane, lancer killer. If she's going against the lancer, she's gonna get an attack boost, which means she can kill him faster.
The name's Jane Turner. I'll do anything if it means putting holes in imps.
And she apparently likes to kill Imperials. Well, let's see if we can do something to improve that. And Jan's actually not a bad lancer. He fancies men, so he gets an accuracy boost when he's around males. And he has a pollen allergy. So, as long as I keep him away from pollen, he's fine.
Hey, soldier! I'm Jan Walker. I'll fight with everything I've got.
Oh, what is your voice actor? Great. It's gotta be a running trend in this episode, isn't it? Name that episode. I know I heard this voice from somewhere. And here's Niles. He's a city kid. If he's on paved road, he gets a defense boost. He also gets an evasion boost when he's in camp. But if he's around allies, he kinda has an evasion decrease. So he's not a bad lancer either, but oh, here's Walter Nash. I like him for desert and night missions, because they actually keep in mind this type of stuff when it comes to accuracy. If it's in the dark, unless they have night vision, they are getting a accuracy drop. And then Hector. As long as you keep away from metal, he's good.
My name's Hector Calvi, sir. I'm at your service from today on.
Okay, I have 4 slots left. I want to get some engineers and I want to get 1 sniper. And I like Marina. She is my favorite sniper in the game.
Marina Wolfstead, at your command.
In my personal opinion, she's one of the best snipers in the game. Most good effect, one of her future potentials is in essence she never misses. So let's get 3 engineers to join our team. Let's get Nadine, who is awesome, and having her with Wavy will make her pretty handy.
Hello, sir. My name is Nadine. I'm sure I'll be coming to you for help.
I think you got it backwards, Nadine. I'm probably going to come to you for help, to help fix things. And then, as long as I don't have him alone, he's fine. I'm probably going to have him be sticking near the Edelweiss like glue.
My name's Carl Lanzit, sir. It's a pleasure to join you.
Hooray, Steve Bloom! He's now on our side as well. And then last one. Let's not. Let's get the second sniper, why not?
Hey, I'm Oscar Baylor. Thanks for taking me on board.
I tend to set up 2 snipers in a mission.
Well, feel like you've struck a balance?
As good as I'm gonna get.
Come back anytime you'd like to adjust your squad.
Thank you, Captain.
As time passes, we'll have more recruits to choose from, so keep an eye on that list.
I tend to check every chapter.
Oh, and all the recruits go through training together.
And here's something nice about this game. You don't have to worry about favoritism. You spend XP into classes as the entire class. So you don't have to worry about, say, Alicia getting a higher level than other scouts. All scouts level up by class. And so do the others. So that is awesome. And it even extends to the people you don't have in your squad at the moment. So all the people in that list will be getting the same benefits as everyone out that are in your squad that leveled up.
They'll be at the same level as the rest of the team you've taken into the field. You can swap out.
And in fact, even in R&D, when you upgrade equipment, if it's like the Galian one or whatnot, when you upgrade those, everyone upgrades. You don't have to worry about XCOM rule of building the upgrade ones to outfit the squad. Once you upgrade, that's it.
That should be enough to get you started. You can figure out the rest as you go.
Yep.
Wow. Squad leader's a lot of responsibility.
No kidding, you have to juggle a lot.
Come to think of it, Faldio's heading up Squad 1, isn't he?
So all the people that were in that uniform when we came in to get promoted were squad leaders. Faldio leads up Squad 1. Well, given the synergy between Welks and Faldio we saw, I'm hopeful that we can just continue on with that and have Squad 1 and 7 just do regular team-ups.
I wonder if he's off sorting through this stuff now, too. I better get a move on.
Sounds like a plan. We have 2 more areas to go to before we can continue the game. Because we actually can't go out of this mode until we complete